Hey guys, back again, and this time I'm reviewing another film, and this time it's the sequel to Child's Play. That's right, Child's Play 2 from 1990. Now, I've finished watching the first one not too long ago, about what, two hours ago, and I'll start watching this one. This one's a lot of fun, and it's creepy, but it's not scary, and it doesn't really have the same feeling as the first one. I still like it though. So basically what happens is at the beginning, the people who run the Good Guy doll, they've took all the dolls back because of the story about what happened with Andy and his mother. So you hear them talk about it. Apparently the two policemen, Mike and the other guy, who apparently, because the main police guy in that one had a thing for his mum, but apparently denied all of it. And the mum ended up in a nut house, as they call it. And Lil Andy is in this like adoption place, kind of mental facility thing. So they're talking and they're making another doll, and they reckon somebody tampered with the one that was Chucky and made it say really horrible things like "I want to murder you." So they're trying to find out who did it. Then you get Andy getting adopted by two people who have adopted another girl. But let's get into that in a minute. So the director is John LaFia, and the writers are Don Mancini. So you've got Alex Vincent as Andy Barkley, Jenny Agata as Joanne Simpson, Jarrett Graham as Phil Simpson, Christine Ellis as Kyle, Brad Dourif as Chucky. So the film has this thing like Joanne and Phil, they pick him up, and Phil doesn't really like him that much. He thinks he's a bit creepy. Which I think's a bit rude because, you know, it's not a kid's fault for what happened, is it? So they get him home and he gets really scared. Why? Because there's a Good Guy doll in the cupboard. Now, I don't want to sound funny, but if you know somebody's had a problem with the Good Guy doll in the past, why the hell would you have one there? Why would you make him carry it about, and why would you make him spend time with it? It seems a little bit inconsiderate and a bit rude to me. So anyway, he meets I guess the foster sister, Kyle, who's another foster kid there, and the two people are a bit weird because the Joanne seems quite nice, but Phil's got a temper on him. Because whenever Andy says to him, "Oh, it's Chucky who did it. It's alive," and all this, it goes on the Good Guy doll, Chucky, and throws it down the stairs and locks the door and makes him go there and see it. But one of the cool things in this movie is Chucky gets to the place and he gets their good doll and he smashes it up and buries it in the garden and then pretends to be that doll. I thought that was quite clever. I thought it was really clever. So basically, he's going around Chucky, following Andy, and he kills the teacher. He kills some other people, kills the foster dad, basically trips him up, and then he goes flying downstairs and snaps his neck. Then Andy ends up leaving, and Carl runs after him in the car with Chucky, and they end up at the warehouse at the end, which is quite a good finale. I actually like the finale of the warehouse one more than the first one. I just didn't like the whole movie as much. I mean, it's creepy and it's got some tension in it, but it just didn't have that same feeling in my view. I don't know what it was. It just didn't feel the same. So they get to the end bit with the warehouse. And Chucky's basically, he gets his arm and ripped off, so he sticks a knife in it. And you can see the pain. It's like, oh, you know, I couldn't imagine doing that. And then it gets stuck at the end when he survived being in this machine. His legs are cut off, and he's just got his arm, and he's putting himself across the floor on like a board, you know, those rollerboard things. And he goes through, misses, and acid is falling, and Andy hits the acid button, and it goes flying on him and melts him basically. And Carl comes off the escalator because she almost gets killed, and he jumps up at her with all the stuff. He looks like a really wrinkly baby. And you're like, but this acid stuff would burn her hands as well, because it wouldn't just dry up and not feel it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there going, why isn't she getting any pain from this? Overall, the movie is fairly decent. I did enjoy it. It was an easy watch. It just was one of those films where you watch the first one, and it's like, the first one's like, how can I put it? It's like I've said before. When you watch the first Halloween, or the first Nightmare on Elm Street, or even the first Friday the 13th, or Hellraiser, they've got something special about them that the sequels never do. And this is one of those things that's there. And even though it's written by the same person, it's just not the same. It's like, this is a film that's basically like a continuation. It could have been on the end or in the middle of the first one and been one movie together, just cut down in bits. But I still like it. To me, I like them because they connect and they were worth watching one after the other. But it's not one of those films I would watch again. I would watch it again, but I won't watch it again like within the next few months or a year. I'd probably watch it later. With the original one, I could watch maybe again tomorrow if I wanted to, because it was that good, you know. So basically, Alex Vincent was great as Andy, and I really enjoyed him in it. I like that it's a little kid being chased about instead of always an adult or a teenager, because it makes it better. Because otherwise, what happens is you just end up, you know, going, oh, she's going to survive. As with a kid, you're like, oh no, I don't want him seeing this. It looks creepy. So Brad Dourif basically plays Chucky again with the voice, and he's so good at it. It's like Doug Bradley in Hellraiser when he does his voice. It's just one of those things which is perfect. He's got that kind of sick sense of humour. This is obviously Brad Dourif as Chucky. He's got a great sense of humour. It's very creepy, very dark, and he's got a lot of hatred in the voice. It's awesome. Really well done. I really hope that they don't make a seventh one, because otherwise it's not going to go with the set, is it? Here's the set. What annoys me about this, right, is they call it the complete Chucky set, yet the first three movies are called Child's Play. So I'm a bit thinking, because it's not actually the real name, is it? You know, of the set. It's called the Chucky set, but yeah. Anyway, so everybody was pretty good, and it's an alright movie, just nowhere as good as the first. There's quite a big character development between Carl and Andy, and I liked how their relationship grew. Like, at first she wasn't very keen on him, and by the end she was like an older sister to him. And it was really nice and sweet to see that she'd go away to help him. Because there's a part where she goes on about how she's used to being alone as well, and it's quite upsetting to a degree, you know, a bit emotional. But good film, not as good as the first one. I'd recommend giving it a watch straight after the first one, because it's continuation technically. And also suggest definitely watching the first one first, because once you watch that, you're going to want to watch the others. And I think you might need that to build up to, especially Seed of Chucky. Oh no. So yeah, it's very simple, the movie. There's not really much got to it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's all basic stuff, like the teacher getting killed, the foster dad going down the stairs, the warehouse, the people at the warehouse. Oh, there's a definite, I forgot to say this, there's a definite where the guy, he goes under what the good guy dolls go under, and it pushes the eyes in his head, and you see him swinging later on with them hanging out, like, that which was cool. And at the beginning, Chucky gets put into another doll, and he takes it over, and he electrocutes everybody in the room, and the person doing the thing, and you're sitting there going, so was his spirit flying through the air then in the warehouse? You know. Anyway, so as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and take care, guys, and have a lovely, lovely day.